You are not a victim of your desires. You are a biological machine being manipulated by glowing glass. Your willpower is useless because your perception is broken. Stop fighting the illusion. Learn the Emperor's cold logic or remain enslaved forever. Let's end the theater. You're trapped in a loop, trading your life force for pixels on a glass screen. You spike your dopamine and then the crash. You think you have a discipline problem. You don't. You have a perception problem. Society tells you to fight the urge. That lie keeps you weak. You are a biological machine being hijacked by a super stimulus. Look at Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth. Rome offered him endless decadence served on silver, but he remained cold to it, untouched. How did an emperor survive the ultimate trap of absolute power without going mad with lust? He understood a clinical truth about the human brain. Apply his rule, and the addiction ends here. Think back. There was a time before the screens, before the endless scrolling, when your mind was quiet. You didn't need extreme synthetic shocks to your nervous system just to feel alive. A walk, a deep conversation, it was enough. But then, a glitch occurred. You started feeding your primitive brain with superstimuli. Let's talk about the exact mechanism here. When you open a browser, you aren't just looking at pictures, you are hijacking millions of years of human evolution. Your deep lizard brain cannot tell the difference between a glowing array of pixels and an actual mate. You traded reality for the illusion of mass reproduction. Every time you open those tabs, your brain thinks you are a conquering king spreading your genetics. It dumps massive, unnatural spikes of dopamine into your system. And that is the exact moment the trap snaps shut. The root cause isn't your high sex drive, it is a hijacked reward system. Marcus Aurelius didn't fight his desires, he dissected them. When presented with the most intoxicating flesh, he didn't rely on resistance. He used analytical reductionism. He wrote in his journal, "This roasted meat is just a dead bird. This vintage wine is just fermented grape juice." And of sex, he brutally reduced it. It is merely the friction of body parts, in a brief spasm. He didn't just avoid the banquet, he verbally destroyed it in his own mind. He stripped away the social status, the perfume, the romance, and looked at the raw, rotting biology of it all. Apply this to your screen, the perfect lighting, the flawless angles, the impossible scenarios. It is all a highly produced theater designed to extract your attention and sell it to advertisers. When you see it as a mechanical transaction, the magic instantly evaporates. While the common man seeks the high, the emperor strips away the illusion. Feeding the urge to cure it is drinking salt water. The immediate relief is a lie that only deepens the thirst. Look at your daily habits, the late night scrolling, the just one peek, the incognito tabs. These aren't harmless escapes. They are lethal leaks draining your life force. You think the solution is to fight the urge, to build a wall. But that goes against the law of the mind. The prescription is paradoxical. Do not fight the image. Strip it of its power. Stop romanticizing the flesh. When the urge hits, force your brain to see the pixels. It is glowing glass. It is a biological trick. Stop trying to do more and simply stop believing the lie. Aurelius famously chose to sleep on a hard camp bed. Why? Because he knew that excess is not a luxury. It is a fatal vulnerability. In a modern world of infinite access to dark fantasies, this excess is your enemy. True power isn't having access to everything. It is the voluntary restriction of the unnecessary. Scarcity is your ultimate armor. Your phone, the algorithms, the endless barrage of hypersexualized media. Society normalizes this as healthy. It is not. It is dead weight. It is a direct threat to your psychological survival. Every time you give in, you trade your baseline peace for a cheap, synthetic thrill. It destroys your sleep, your confidence, and your focus. They are stealing your drive. So, how do you begin? Not with a massive vow of purity. You start with micro-subtraction. When the craving strikes, do not debate it. Just turn off the screen, step back, name it out loud. This is just a chemical spike. By simply labeling it, you move the process from the primitive brain to the cold, logical prefrontal cortex. instant relief through clinical observation. Let me destroy a toxic myth right now. Willpower is a scam. The gurus selling you 90-day streaks based on pure grit are setting you up to fail. Willpower runs out. Logic does not. You cannot white-knuckle your way out of a biological urge. You must replace brute force with mechanical repetition. Think of a combat medic in a war zone. When the bombs are falling and a man is bleeding out, the medic doesn't rely on motivation. He doesn't need to feel inspired to save a life. He falls back on cold, repetitive, drilled training, tourniquet, pressure, bandage. He performs the sequence blindly. When the urge hits you late at night, you must become that combat medic. You do not negotiate with the enemy. You mechanically apply the Stoic dissection, flesh and bone, pixels and glass, friction and spasm. Repeat it until the magic dies completely. To truly win, separate the biological pull from your identity. The urge is an event happening in your body. It is not you, you are the watcher. You are the emperor observing a riot safe from the balcony. Transform this clinical effort into a core trait and you access unlimited power. You are no longer a victim, you are a scientist. Imagine the emperor on the freezing Germanic frontier. The winters were brutal. The mud, the blood, the constant threat of assassination. Every fiber of a normal man's body would scream for an escape. A warm bed, a cup of wine, a fleeting moment of flesh to forget the freezing hell outside. War raging outside, betrayal within, the ultimate test of stress. But Aurelius breaks the rules. He doesn't seek a release valve. He sits in the cold, writes in his journal, and ignores the outcome. He proves that the highest form of dominance isn't conquering armies. It is conquering the dark voices inside his own skull. Your greatest weakness right now is your dependence on the outcome. You obsess over how many days you've been clean. You panic when you feel an urge. Sever this cord. Cut the link between your internal peace and external metrics of success. If an urge comes, let it come. Do not track the days, track your mental clarity, detach. The true engine behind his lethality wasn't fire, it was ice. A profound state of internal stillness. This is the counterintuitive source of real power. By mastering this clinical detachment over your deepest desires, you don't just cure a habit, you transfer this cold mastery to everything, your business, your fitness. The man who cannot be seduced cannot be broken. I know how you operate. You can't turn off. You can't sit in a quiet room without reaching for a hit, a spike. You are chronically unable to rest. True recovery isn't about stopping entirely, it's about finding stillness inside the storm. When the urge screams, don't run. Sit with it, look at it, find rest in the discomfort. Let the chemical wave crash over you and realize it cannot drown you. The Stoic distillation is clear. Mind over meat, logic over impulse. Meanwhile, the modern world sells you fake antidotes. Website blockers, shame tactics, accountability apps. They are all temporary frauds. They treat the symptom, not the disease. The only true cure is clinical deconstruction. Strip the object of its fake value. Drink real water, not the salt water of temporary release. Here is your ultimatum. Stop running from your biology. Stop giving in to cheap, pixelated ghosts. Stop trading your future for 5 seconds of fake warmth. Stop being a slave to a dopamine loop that leaves you entirely empty. Start dissecting your desires. Start seeing the screen for the cold, dead glass it is. Start acting like the emperor of your own mind. The moment you apply this logic, you become invulnerable. Lust is not a monster you wrestle, it is an illusion you expose. Willpower is weak, logic is absolute. The symptom you thought was a moral failing is simply a biological glitch. But now you hold the antidote. The responsibility of the cure is entirely in your hands. Do not consume the poison hoping for relief. You are no longer the reactive slave. You are the observer, cold, clinical, in control. Remember the emperor. Reduce the desire to dust and step into the dark, entirely free.